We are pleased that our plans for much needed new homes, including affordable housing, has been recommended for approval by your officers. The site is allocated in the adopted Wycombe local plan for 50 new homes, which we are delivering, including 24 new affordable homes, in line with the Council's policy of 48%. The application before you tonight accords with all the policies set out within your recently adopted local plan and has been designed in line with your residential design guidance. Statutory consultees who have been consulted have raised no objection to the application, including Bucks Highways and Flooding Departments, along with the Conservation Officer. The proposals are the culmination of over 2 years' work with planning and design officers and discussions with local stakeholders and members of the public, including 2 public exhibitions. Our proposals have taken community comments into account, and as a result, we present to you today a design that will truly benefit the local community. Our plans respond sympathetically to the site's location and proximity to the Chiltern Area of Outstanding Natural Beauty, the Disraeli Monument, and the National Trust managed Hewenden Manor. Our design approach has been landscape-led, with over 160 new trees to be planted on site. As the Council's Conservation Officer notes in the Officer's report, this ensures that development will not harm the local heritage assets and complies with the relevant statutory requirements. Furthermore, our scheme seeks to enhance the local green space and provide a biodiversity net gain of over 10% on site. Future and existing residents will benefit from a mix of formal and informal open space proposed in various locations throughout the development. An existing public footpath that crosses the site with direct access to the Chilterns countryside is retained and enhanced through new tree and shrub planting with public benches. We have prepared a transport strategy which the Council's Highways Officer has not objected to and is acceptable both in terms of our scheme's proposed trip generation and impact on the network. Your officer's report also explains that this site provides car parking to meet the needs of development in line with the relevant policies. Further, 50 electric vehicle charging points will be provided, meaning that every home has access to a charging point. In conclusion, the proposal before you this evening represents the development of an allocated site within the local plan in a sustainable location that meets all the policy requirements and is recommended for approval. I hope you can support your officer's recommendation so that Inland Homes can continue to work with your officers, the council and the local community in the coming months to deliver a scheme Wycombe can be proud of. Thank you.
Reliance on existing trees, not within the control of the developer or this council, to try and mitigate the effect, just shows that there is an effect to try and mitigate against. Para 453 refers to normal development standards. Is this normal urban standards? This site is not normal.
I'm concerned in respect to play areas just being put somewhere, and there is reference to a play area being close by, and it begs the question, would there be any merit in that being enhanced or extended rather than this play area being put in what they are saying is a relaxed and an area where you can unwind?
Mr. Stewart's very detailed report did not once address the issue why we should destroy this quite lovely and important rare grassland. Should we develop this piece of AONB at all? I've spent my life on this committee over the past 6 years trying to protect AONB creep, and it happens all the time. Now, if the AONB is important, and everybody agrees that it is, it says so in our local plan, then why do we let it get developed? You know, there was that, I don't know how many of you know the famous singer Joni Mitchell. She said, you burn paradise and put up a parking lot. And this is what's happened here. and you burn all the trees and put them in a tree museum. And, these should be two mantras that we should live by when we're discussing AONB. Once this is gone, it's gone forever. So even though the officers and the inspector say that it's permissible, we should really consider whether we agree with that and go along with that.
And I just wanted to see what all my other colleagues have said. Councillor Paul Turner, ex-chairman of the Planning Committee, he knows what he's talking about and what he said. I think it just goes to the root of this application. He's just gone through and destroyed this application, and all hats off to him. Councillor Whitehead, he's like a knowledge book about policies and stuff. Hats off to him as well. This land has been taken out of the green belt, and some of us colleagues, we fought against it, but it's happened. We've got to move on. We're moving on. I'm not going to say inland homes have got some kind of ulterior motive, but when you see Councillor Whitehead, and I've received this glossy leaflet through our letterbox, and it's saying, as you can imagine, what my colleagues and others might be thinking with Mr. Stewart's name, sponsored by or, approved by Mr. Stewart, and Mr. Stewart's come back and said, no, it's got nothing to do with me. We've helped them, but it shouldn't have been there. So, you've got that. So developers will try to use every ploy to get what they want. I think people use the, affordable homes willy-nilly. I don't go for that. If you're making affordable homes, you should make them for the right reasons, not for, we've got to make 20 affordable homes for people who can't afford them. They get that, but their specs won't be the same as the normal ones either. So, I think, go away, inland homes.
On balance, it would be very hard to justify that impact is severe and contrary to the NPPF requirements and sufficient to recommend refusal for the application.
Miss Hemmings said, 5:15 was the busy period around that time, when they did all these fancy figures and all that, trying to mind boggle us and all that. She's done it to me anyway, so. But I'm a normal person. I usually travel up and down that road nearly every time, every day of the week kind of thing. But I noticed 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, you should see the traffic around that area. I'm not sure 5:15, she's right. 5 o'clock when people leave work or leave town or whatever, she's right. But there's stacks of queue going all the way to back to the Tesco's roundabout. And then in the morning, it's the other way into Hughenden Valley down to the Harrow pub. So, it's like saying, if somebody's thrown a piece of litter on the floor, it's already there. We'll throw some more litter on there. Who cares? It doesn't make any difference. Mr. Stewart said something that was really good, and I just wanted to pick up on that. He said, in his views, it was okay, the development. In his views. In my views, it's not. So, we can go back and forth, but as a person from the ward, in my views, it's not. So, we can go get back and forth on that argument. But, I'd like my colleagues to think about that.
I'll put forward a proposal. Councillor Lee.
Yes.
I propose that we listening to all of the arguments that have been put forward, that we refuse this application and give the developer the opportunity to go back and re-present an additional plan which is more considerate to the area. Thank you.
Do I have a seconder for that?
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Sorry, who was that?
I'll obviously.
Councillor Sadiq.
Chair, I think I'll come in at this point.
Yes, please do, Mr. Martin.
It's Mr. Power.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I can't see your face, isn't there?
No, I know. Apologies. There you It's no better now, but there you go. So we have a proposal to refuse the application so that they can bring something better back. You can't. You're going to have to put together a bit more meat on the bones for such a proposal, because you haven't given us the reasons why you want to refuse the application. You're just proposing to refuse the application. If we don't have any reasons, we can't give you advice as to whether or not those reasons would stack up and whether or not we feel as officers that we can support those reasons at appeal. So I'll pass it back to the members to have a consideration on that.
Councillor Lee, you proposed, do you want to put something larger forward, or do you want to leave it to someone else?
No, I think that there are so many reasons. I think it would be a good idea of those people to chuck one or two in themselves that we can include. I mean, it's been a discussion that's gone on for an hour and a half, and to be honest, I can't remember every complaint, and there must have been 50.
The proposed development fails to deliver a landscape-led approach. It's poorly laid out, or has a poor layout, including 3-story development, which is visually dominant, which results in a visually dominant development with a lack of suitable tree cover, which gives a hard urban edge and results in a development which is out of character with the local area, the AONB, and views into the site from the AONB. I think that covers everything that you wanted.
Thank you. Right, Councillor Lee, you're still proposing it, I guess. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy, very happy with that, and I thought there'd be even more reasons, but that's enough to keep us going. Yes, thank you.
Right, Mrs. Hornby, can we proceed to a vote, please?
Certainly, Chairman. Thank you. Councillors, I'll call your names out if you could indicate whether you are for, against, or wish to abstain on the motion to refuse the application. Councillor Asif.
For.
Councillor Clark.
For.
Councillor Farmer.
For.
Councillor Hall.
For.
Councillor Mrs. Langley.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Lee.
For.
Councillor Roger.
For.
Councillor Sadiq.
For.
Councillor Paul Turner.
For.
Thank you. And Councillor Whitehead.
For.
Chairman, I can confirm that that vote is unanimous.
Thank you. So the motion is carried. Thank you, everyone.
Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.